I started to talk about the head of the ulna and also head of the radius about the fractures that may happen for these parts of the body. So I told you or identified the items that how is the mechanism of the fracture is mostly happen because of a sliding that's going to be seldom here. It's not it's not very actually common in the rock because you don't have any snow or ice or something. But the most actually method of the fracture is a kind of a sliding and then get a kind of direct trauma to the area of the back elbow. Okay, and so I identified a very famous actually anterior humeral angle for you, and I told you that this is something around 80 to 90 degree, 85 to 90 degree, and it helps you to identify the alignment, the normal alignment, and based on this normal alignment you can expect that how much of force or how much actually energy, how much function you can consider about the future of this actually joint. And you know that right now. This is simple classification for head of the radius. We explained the head of the ulna, the Crockway process something. It was on the past session. And you know the simple fracture, the fragment fracture, multiple actually fragment, and the angulation. So, how much the fragment can be considered? We did consider that just for the distance between the fractures, you have a line, a credit of about 1 centimeter or over that. And for the angulation, you have about 45 degree or more than that. Do you remember? Do you remember? Come on, Fatima, do you remember? Somehow. I told you, if you have a kind of distance between two parts of the fragments, okay, whenever you feel a little worse situation, at the time you have a higher level of distance. How much? Over 1 centimeter. So less than 1 centimeter is going to be okay, but over than 1 centimeter is going to be probably at risk of non-union or delay union. What about angulation or change the direction of the bone? It's about 45 degree or over that. Yes, please. Question?
Doctor, what's the name of C? Fracture C?
This is the situation, not name. Actually, the name of the fracture is the head of the radius.
Classification.
Simple.
Head of the radius, fragment, distant, and change the angle, angulation. Angulation. This is not the name of fracture. It's the situation of the fracture. Okay. So what a nice picture, and how much I searched for this picture, and to find that this is a kind of prosthesis. And they replace this actually head or artificial head for the radius. Why? They could leave it. Why they try to get a kind of head of the radius? Rogaya wants to say. No? She did a great presentation today. But she could be better.
Because head is damaged and not good.
Because you need pronation supination. You need that one. Okay, so you need a kind of artificial head of the radius. And what is the quality of this artificial prosthesis? Iron? Stainless steel? Platin? Fatima wants to say that. No, she didn't want.
New head of the female.
Okay, what is that?
New head.
The quality. you learn, you read all of this actually. The boys doesn't have any idea. Just have a look. Mustafa said, what is equality? We talk about all of these concepts. Why you are not remembering?
Simple.
It's 316
L.
L. She got it finally at the end of the lecture. And okay, this is a specific topic, a specific quality or material. It's a kind of a liage, mixture between the stainless steel, nickel, and some the other materials such as cadmium or something like that.
Steel.
Okay, why we all of the processes, all of the ORIF device, all of them inside of the body are made from the 316L. Why? Because the risk of blah 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 is so low in this sexual quality. The risk of what am I? The risk of
Inflammation.
the risk of
Limitation of movement.
the risk of building close to the shore. The risk of
هو شنو اسمه؟
corrosion. The risk of corrosion. I told you, the house, the building close to the shore, to the sea, the risk of deterioration is so high. So we need something with lowest amount of risk of deterioration. We call it corrosion. The risk of corrosion is so low. That was the reason we are using that one. Okay, anyhow, what a nice actually healing process with a kind of mediator. It's endochondral bone ossification. That means the stability is very high, okay? And when it's a kind of mediator, you know what is the mediator, cartilage, clearly. And you know the time of approximate time if you have a kind of simple fracture. How long it's going to be to reach actually the third level of third cortical region?
3 months.
3
Month.
weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay, the circulation is perfect. Circulation is very good. Okay, any other information? The expected time for healing is about 6 to 8 weeks. And for the, I'm bringing the PDF file for you, not this one. And expected time for rehabilitation is 6 to 12. That is about 1.5 or 3 months. Okay, and so come and have a look to the treatment approaches. What is the aim or goal or ambitions of the treatment, medical treatment? You know that the stability, alignment, integrity, and you know this is always repeated for all of the fractures. Okay, what about the PT? You know that version.
Pain.
Pain,
Range of motion.
range of motion, muscle and power, functional mobility, and you know that version. Okay. So if I want to ask you a question, okay, what is the purpose of physical therapy for the simple fracture? You know that. Hopefully. Okay. How can I make it better? Is it better?
No.
Don't think so.
هذا جفاف عاطفي يوم ما خلنا نختبر. يلا زين. فوزنا حسيت جاي بابجي
It's better right now. You're back.
مريم عندك جنطة صغيرة؟ شوفوا رقي.
Okay, for the first week, in the fractures of the head of the radius, so clearly you know the key points right now. Clearly you can do any movement. For the salam alaikum, thank you.
خطايا حتى العظم خلنا نطلع الطلاب. الطلاب وينك وادي مثلي.
Did you get a picture? Thank you. Did you get a picture with this expression? That's a Johnson?
Because just without head and without head.
هذا علاو قاعدين.
That's a Johnson.
Without head.
What did you say?
Without head, Mr. Johnson. Just this. Another.
So there is a
There's
head here.
another versus.
He is bald.
This Abu Johnson.
Abu Johnson. There is a person here.
محمد أبو جاسم صارت.
There's a person. Okay. Anyhow. Come on, back to the track. Back to the track. Back to the track. Okay, for the first week, you can do anything not at the area, any other places. So you can move, just a gentle move on the on the muscles with two joints, such as wrist or shoulder, just gentle exercise, and any other movement in the other parts. But avoid any kind of movement at the elbow for the first week. So why? Because we need stability, we need immobilization. And it's very important. Is there any struggle? You need immobilization. Okay, so avoid any kind of passive movement in the area of the elbow, or even active assistive or something like that. So if you see there is a kind of O-ring. What was that, O-ring? Internal fixation. If there is an O-ring here, and you know that there is a stable fracture, okay, you can start to work to provide simple general movement at the end of the first week. Which kind of movement? Middle range or ending range? Middle range. Okay. And is a kind of isometric,
Isometric without movement.
Okay. The range of initial range you can work on there is about 90 degrees. Something between 0 to 90, that will be okay. But there is no strengthening. If you want to provide a strength, you are at risk of the students were with me in the morning in the hospital. Exostoles. Rogaya wants to say that. What is the exostoles? Hurrah. What was that? Exostoles.
هذا بالأنكل شو اسمه؟ نتوء العظم شو اسمه؟
Process.
Extra amount of the calcium or something like bony actually structure at the area which is not normal at the area, which is not actually common at the area. This is a kind of extra bony that can be source of the pain. So we cannot provide a kind of force because it leads a kind of exostosis. Especially the risk is so high for the elbow. Why is so high? Because this is pure hinge joint. You do remember? No, this is 992 times, which I'm telling you actually this is pure hinge joint.
Hinges?
So right now it's 993. This is a pure hinge joint. And where is the other pure hinge joint? How do you know? Okay. And what about the function? These people does have a kind of dependency, so they need a kind of help by the others, and there is no weight bearing for sure. Okay, good. Everything is set. You are heading to the second week and third weeks. I'm trying to remove it and remove that one as well. Okay. The second and third week, what will be happen? For the second week and third week, you can increase a little tension. So from isometric heading to a little higher tension. What is that? For instance, esoteric, but very gentle. If you want to start with middle range, not ending range, providing high force for the patient. So there is no strengthening exercise, and also there is no, for instance, high pressure exercise, something like that. Everything may be isometric or something like that. The point here, very important, the point here, if you are providing a kind of force, your patient will be at risk of exostosis. We call it HO, heterotropic ossification. And one more point, you have not a simple actually joint. You have a joint of elbow with a flexion extension, you can see, and you have another simple joint beyond that the elbow will be superior radial ulnar heading to pronation supination. So this amount of the limitation is considering for whole of the area, for whole of the joints at the area. Everything is set. Still your patient are dependent to their family, and still there is no weight for your...
This isometric exercise do that or no?
Yes. Yes. You know, just do remember about the guideline which I told you about the size. Whenever you see a new color, this is a new movement at the time. Where is the time? Second and third week. So this is the new actually approach. You can start it probably at the end of the first week, but for the second week you can do that isometric. Did you get that?
Yes.
So the time you are heading to reach the complete stable situation, third cortical region, is 3 weeks, but you are not waiting up to 3 weeks. If we are waiting for up to 3 weeks, everything going to be limited. We are starting as soon as we can, but under the supervision and control. Under the supervision and control. Hurrah, you are tired. That's good. The other hurrah. Any question?
No.
Okay, weight bearing. Just with considering 100 kg, it's going to be okay. 100 kg.
No.
You want to kill your patient. It's not weight. Okay.
شي يخلص أرض بطة
Okay. We are in the weeks of 4 up to 6, going to be 1 month up to 1.5, and as you can see, the elbow flexion going to be increased, the range going to be increased. The most important neglect we have is the final range of extension. And because it's a kind of hinge joint, it's going to be a danger that we'll miss or we'll lose the full extension. We needed full extension because it's going to be kind of, how can I say, confidence for the patient. And patient feels not okay when his elbow will be in this situation or something. They need something normal, or in the gait, they may necessarily need a kind of full extension. In any case, but this is not functional, you know that. The normal range is going to be different from the functional range, and the functional range for the elbow is not 0. Functional range is something like 60 degrees, 65 degrees, something like that. 40 to 90 degrees. Okay, everything is set, going to be increased, and right now, the isometric exercise is going to be increased, changing to some of the concentric exercise. But you know that the no strengthening exercise is going to be very small. That means you can providing some actually strengthening exercise, increasing level of tension. Very good. The function still needs help, but he can or she can try for some simple tasks. And finally, for the weight bearing, there is partial weight bearing, especially if it's stable. But if it's not stable, if it's a stable, if he or she does have a kind of worry, so everything can be okay. But if it's not stable, so okay, you can actually consider much limitation or much protection, and then postpone a little the weight bearing or something like that. And we reach to, come on. To change it? Yes. Okay, we reach to 2 months to 3 months. Okay. And 2 months to 3 months, Richard. You know, right now, the worst scenario, the worst movement will be valgus or varus. Okay. So that means approximately you will reach full range, deflection and extension. The valgus and varus is going to be dangerous for the patient. And so that means our last probably force we can try for that, or we can estimate that we got it at the end stage is varus and valgus stress. So the whole of the exercise is going to be increased, active assistive, probably active, and the range is going to be increased, the range of coordination and supination will be increased. I told you I got a research, unfortunately I didn't have enough time to publish it. I told you the whole of the map of the body is in a way that when you have a kind of fracture or problem in the formation supination, so the whole of the issue for the formation, for the elbow, the initial movement you got it is pronation. This is the earliest movement, this is the earliest range you got it. And we will talk. And the latest actual range you will reach it is supination. So it's a good question. Can we provide a little time to talk about that? Any idea why the initial actual range is pronation?
The function that what our brain is always pronation.
Not really brain, because
it's more function than supination.
it's a kind of myotome, yes. Because you know, easiest way to provide a kind of comfort situation is pronation, and you see you started to learn hemiplegia. You see that this is the walking of hemiplegia people. Okay. Do you know the gait of hemiplegia?
Yes,
We
yes.
talk about the kinesiology. Yeah. Circumduction. Or
drop foot.
camel gait.
Yes.
Camel gait. Camel put his foot there. So, but the easiest way to get a kind of comfortable position is pronation, full pronation. And the last range you got it through the elbow, it's full supination. Yeah. And you know there is no published paper in this way. We checked about more than 1,200 to reach these numbers, and unfortunately I didn't find enough time to publish it. It was belonged to 10 years ago. But it's very nice because it's based on the data of 10 years experience of different actually people with DRF, distal reduced fracture. Okay. Come back to the point. Your exercises can be increased, very simple. All of the extensor, supinator, pronator are going to be under your control. Function can use a kind of light weight or something, and the partial weight at the end of the month, which is 12 weeks, actually 3 months, will be reached to full weight bearing if it's possible, if it's a stable. Any question? No, everything is easy, right? Everything is easy. And what is that?
Dysfunction.